Hey, it's Todd Ault. Welcome to the show. It is the 1st of September. Pretty excited about the 1st of September. Skyla,
Yeah.
how you doing?
I was surprised you didn't rabbit me, actually.
Oh, I didn't rabbit you?
No.
But
Rabbit.
Christy got everyone first.
Yeah, she did.
I think I put my hair to the wrong... Did I put my hair to the wrong side, Skyla?
No.
No,
It looks like it's the wrong side. It is the 1st of September, September 1st, 2021. Jason Bartholomew, my partner in crime next to me. Jason, what's up?
It's a new month. I know we sat on our hands for a lot of August, and I'm looking forward to seeing what September brings for opportunities.
What did we are changing the format a little bit, and I know we have an audience of like say under 1,000 people, and I get that actually watch the show, and so we appreciate you working with us. That we're making the format a little different. We did things a little ass backwards here, and we built this wonderful studio that was developed by a really talented guy from Hollywood who's been in production for a long time, and he did a great job of making it. And then Brett and Nick have tried to upgrade what we have here. Is there a way to show all the stuff we have back there in the back? Is it possible to show that just all the fancy stuff we have here, that where you can kind of zoom down a little bit? Because I'd like to, just for a second, right? So if you look down, you'll see these boards we have. Even Brad Lee, who's a fan of the show, you can see there's Nick there. And you can see that we just have some really great fancy equipment. But what Jason and I have failed to do, and we're working on it, is provide the right software for charting and things. We really want it to look differently, and we want the show to have more compelling information about trading and the risk we're taking, et cetera. So we're sort of working up to that. We're going to work all through the month of September, so when we go into October, the last quarter, we have all the charts we'd like. But if anyone has any recommendations for us of things they'd like to see, please put it in the chat or send us a text to 949-799-1831. Speaking of chat, today was the first day of the $1,000 challenge. Jason put on the Discord. I don't know that all of you are following it, so everyone gets a little bit of a pass if they're trying to follow Jason's trades. Jason is recommending this challenge with Skyla for $1,000 and sort of using $1,000 to trade, swing trades, et cetera. Jason, why don't you talk about what you did today? One of them was CEI, right? Which is that an oil and gas company?
Yeah, Cambridge Energy, more of an ESG now, carbon capture company. They do have oil and gas still now. One thing about CEI was heavily shorted, huge squeeze opportunity. So this morning I put in what I was doing, actually buying. My plan was to buy the dip under 50, and we did that. I got in around 47 to 48, and it ran, and it's still running probably. Let's take a look.
Is this 64.92 right now?
Okay, after hours, 65 cents. Yeah,
right. It hit a high of 67.87.
I sold half at 65.
Right.
And
then people can track this on Discord?
Yeah, I actually put what I was doing there.
Can we put up the Discord that people can follow Jason and his recommendations?
It's in the Bankroll challenge section of the that Josh.
You're not allowed to say recommendations, so
Right.
we want to be very clear. I would not suggest you buy and sell these positions unless you have the aptitude and you understand the financial market. But what Jason's doing is saying, hey, I have $1,000. I'm going to trade on Webull. And you can trade on whatever platform you want. I'm going to trade on Webull, and I'm going to show you the trades I'm doing, and you can follow along with me. But Jason, you would have been up what $500 today, or what would you have been up
Skyla
today?
would have been up. Yeah, we would have gotten Skyla in around 48. We would have went all in for the full 1,000.
Sure.
And then we would have cashed out for about 33%. Yeah, so we'd be over $1,300.
So it gets harder though because now the bankroll would be $300, right?
Yeah.
But people can really start on any trade you put on, right?
Right.
So if they have $1,000, there'll be times where is every time you're doing it they put the whole 1,000 in?
No, you don't have to go all in. That's kind of like so this in order to grow the bankroll and embrace the volatility, I'm looking to make bold moves with the entire bankroll early on, just because we've decided not to do options. That would be a very bold move to try to grow the bankroll through options. However, we're just going to trade the equities. And now, full disclosure, Skyla didn't get funded yet on her Webull account.
Yeah.
So that kind of held us back today. We're expecting Skyla to get funded possibly tomorrow.
Hopefully, by Friday.
But you funded it, but then you tried to wire because the ACH was going to take 5 days, right?
Yeah, the ACH said it was going to take 4 to 5 days, so I canceled that, did a wire, and that needs to be processed now.
Well, what's important to understand is this is a contest led by Jason Jason pays attention to the market and identifies a lot of swing trades. Jason does that for me through Ault Global and what we do with the hedge fund. Jason does that. He also does other analysis. But what we want to do is we're not charging you a fee. You'll never pay a fee with us. We're not doing anything like that. We're not a newsletter. We're simply saying, watch us trade with Skyla, and if you want to participate, you can. We are in no way charging a fee, a commission. It's not a recommendation. You can trade however much you want, but in Jason's case, he'll identify every time what he's putting in and how much he's doing, and you can follow along with that. So, how do we get to that Discord, Jason?
They
can go to the Risk On Discord, and Josh can probably post the link in the chat. And then once you get on there, you can just join, and then there's several different tabs within the Risk On Discord. One of them happens to be the Bankroll Challenge tab, and that's where you'll find what I'm doing, actually, and what Skyla's doing.
Excellent. Jason, I wanted you to cover the markets real quick because I have a little commentary on the market. I wanted you to kind of get through that. Yeah. And then I want to watch a video about the market, some things that concern me. But, Jason, why don't you cover the market real quick?
Actually, the market was pretty flat today. A lot of economic data came out. Matter of fact, I want to pull that up also. The Dow was actually down 47 points today, 35,313. The S&P was up a point, 45.24. The NASDAQ was up 50, 15,309. Ethereum, big news on the day, 37.25 at the time on air. Bitcoin, a little bit of catch up, 48,250 for Bitcoin. Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio is probably around 14 now, if I had to guess. Oil, OPEC said pound sand to Biden. They're not going to increase production. Oil, 68.20 a barrel. Gold, 18.16 down $1. Silver moved up to 24.21. And copper, because of China releasing some strategic reserves with copper to try to stabilize and keep the market reasonable for their infrastructure plans. Copper's actually $4.28. It moved down just a little bit, down 9 cents today. That's what we got.
So Carter Worth, I don't know if you guys follow him on CNBC. I happen to follow him. He has spoken about what happened in August, and I believe there were 11 new highs in August.
Yeah.
Right. And he talked about the way the market was trading, and he correlated that to 1987. The only time this has happened was the August before the 1987 debacle crash, in which the markets went to new highs. In this case, he when he spoke about it, it was 10 times, but then the very next day or the day after that, it was 11 times. And I was trying to find the video in which he describes this happening only when he describes this happening, to me, a fairly scary conversation about the similarities to what happened in 1987 and 1929. Jason, have you done any work on this at all? Are you familiar with any of the theses of what's happening with the market? Because what I'm hearing is that you have effectively 5 names, which are a huge percentage of the S&P, a huge percentage of the NASDAQ, really kind of floating all boats.
That is true.
Right.
That is very true.
I mean, does what's happening right now with these new highs come almost every day scare you or no?
Well, the Fed's monetizing the market. They're dumping liquidity into the market. They're stabilizing everything. 120 billion a month, I guess, total.
Right.
40 billion equities, 80 billion other assets. So, I mean, how long can the Fed juice the markets, juice the economy, juice liquidity? I mean, Keynesian economics, probably as long as there's no pressure on the petrodollar, and there's no pressure on the housing collapse like in 2008. I mean, they could probably go on for years doing exactly what they're doing. They're printing money out of thin air. That goes to, I'm bullish on silver and gold. However, in a manipulated market, price discovery isn't always accurate. We're seeing silver, which is being used in a much, much greater fashion for EV vehicles, biomedical stuff. Silver, $24 an ounce. The ratio of gold to silver, 75-1, historically is way out of whack. Silver historically has been 16 to 32-1 versus gold. So you're seeing a lot of inefficiencies in the market. I don't know if I could take advantage of the silver side. Silver has run to $50 a couple of times, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of unknowns right now.
I want to be cautious. There's a good chance that it could continue, and this is not going to matter. I would like to go to this chart real quickly here, or go to this video real quickly here. We could pull it up, and I want to play it. Ready?
Go for it.
Good.
Go.
Santoli, first to you. Sum it up. I mean, ending August with a year-to-date gain of 20% on the S&P. That's just price gain, and a very strong month once again. That kind of once again puts the U.S. ahead of the rest of the world.
Yeah, and it's somewhat due to the kind of unique characteristics of our market, of our indexes, because the persistence of the rally, in fact, we've never before had 7 months in a row when the market was up, and it was February through August, those particular months in a row. We were very close to that on 2017. The reason is because when we get a little bit nervous, or when some of the sort of cyclical areas have gotten overdone and we had peak reopening, the thing to fall back on was growth. So when we are afraid about economic growth, it's a reason to buy the so-called growth stocks. It doesn't mean it lasts forever. It doesn't mean you're not going to drop the baton in some of the transfers at some point along the way in this rotation. But I do think that explains the persistence of this rally. Plus, of course, massively strong GDP, 40% earnings growth going up, and the Fed looking for excuses not to really move too quickly, all going into what we've seen so far this year.
Barbara, so how does it set us up for the rest of the year? Do you think we pulled forward the gains? Because we are approaching some of these S&P strategists' target prices for the entire year. So either they're going to have to go higher, or maybe we'll just march in place. What does it look like to you?
Yeah. Well, I think it's an excellent question. I think lots of us are asking ourselves after 7 straight months, all the gains, the market's up over 20%. Seems every day there's a new high. I think that when you look at the fundamentals, really they are still intact, and what you've seen is the earnings growth is tremendous. It is now 30% greater than pre-COVID, and earnings estimates keep coming up. So we're growing into the valuation. However, having said that, we now have a little bit of the COVID variant slowdown. I think that could delay things a month or two. We're all waiting anxiously to see the jobs number on Friday. You know, if that's going to be hot or in line with the 750,000 number, because I think there's still the risk. They think the Fed is committed to keeping rates low, but if you see the numbers come in too hot on employment, and it will take more than just one report, I think people will start to get worried about inflation again, because inflation is still there. I personally think it has peaked, and I think it's transitory, so I am not concerned. But I think we could be in for a bit of a pause, particularly as people wait to see what's happened with payments are tapering off this month, and we're done earnings season. So it's hard to see what the near-term catalyst is, but I don't see much downside from here. Just a bit of back and forth, perhaps.
Keith, to that point about 7 straight months of gains, you've been looking at that and what it might suggest is coming next.
Well, the first thing is when you have a really strong market, that actually tends to be a good sign. And we look back at the last 14 times where we've seen markets move up 7 straight months. And when you look at 6 months forward, Wilfred, the market's been up 13 out of 14 times. So I would not fade this strength. Doesn't mean you can't have a pause. Doesn't mean you can't have some consolidation. But looking at 6 to 12 months, we're still positive. And I think the other important point is this. Even though the market's making new highs, the PE, which is still elevated, is actually has contracted this year. So it's been all earnings driven this year, and we expect that to continue.
Dad, it's a video.
Okay, so what's my point about this? My point about this is that if you notice, they said, oh, well, it's 7 months, and they all made this reason why it will continue to be possibly an 8th month and where we are a year from now. Yeah. I'm not going to say that this is, I've done this a very long time. And if you look internally, small caps have already corrected. So it's a strange, to me, market, right? And that is, if you have a correction in the big cap stocks, and I mean the mega ones, like the FANG names, you have a correction in these names, is it going to drag down the whole market? Jason, my question to you is, if you see the NASDAQ and the S&P pull back 10%, do you see what happened? I mean, I think we're setting ourselves up for. I think we're setting ourselves up for a little chaos. Yeah. In the last half of the year. So call it. Everyone. I don't know that they're all worried. Maybe if everyone's worried, they're these automatic investments, right? All this money in 401ks, It's kind of programmatic now. They're buying the ETFs. They're buying everything in sight, right? They're automatically investing. It's kind of robo-investing, and they're taking these things to new highs without. Now, she's right to say that, hey, maybe earnings are catching up, but it doesn't seem like to me that anyone's worried.
There's three things I didn't mention. The prediction for foreclosures to rise by the end of the year. This mortgage moratorium can't
Because
go on
of
forever.
the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah, that is something that I don't know when the date was when they were speaking about this.
This was just yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they failed to mention that, and they failed to mention a huge thing. Inflation's not transitory. Inflation is going to keep eating people alive for the middle class. Disposable income shrinks. Everywhere in their lifestyle, they're getting hit with higher prices, higher costs. They just kind of avoided that. And the other thing is, and this is going to be a bit controversial, but I'm going to say it, the segregation of society. Now, they're like, Jason, what do you mean by that? Well, they're currently segregating society into two categories. I happen to be in one category. Todd happens to be in the other category. Now, you all are smart. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. But you're seeing that throughout a lot of these blue states. And they happen to be heavily populated states like California and New York, where they're telling certain people that they can't move freely about their city or state, and they can't partake in enjoying a cold beverage or a nice dinner out with the family. That could lead to some contraction in local economies. It could lead to some growth in some other red states where people are like, you know what? I really like it here in Florida or in California or New York, but I'm seeing a lot of things that I just don't agree with. So they might be moving to Texas or they might be moving to Florida. Even Montana, who passed a law that says they can no longer require employers to mandate vaccinations. Other states could do that. You're seeing the segregation of society. It's really sad, and you can't ignore it. So, yeah, those three things.
I am looking for the Carter Worth tweet here and see if I can bring that up here. He just said this just the other day. This is really compelling. I think probably a lot of people who follow this show have probably already seen this this tweet from just a few days ago. I am having trouble. Oh, it's because I'm on CNBC. I'm not on Carter's. Wait, I'm on Carter's thing here.
While you're looking for it, I wanted to look at some ADP payroll numbers today. The consensus range for the employment report was 400,000 to 700,000, and the estimate came in at 374,000. It was much lower. We had some other data today. MBA Mortgage Applications, that comes out every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And that gives you a week-over-week indication of purchase and refinance mortgage applications. This past week, the composite index was down 2.4%, which is the aggregate of the purchase and the refinance total. Purchase was actually up 1%, refinance down 4%. Now, that makes sense on the refinance side. Pretty much everybody has taken advantage of that opportunity regarding refinances and lower rates. A couple other things for economic data that came out today that's pretty important. The EIA Petroleum Status Report. That comes out every Wednesday. That'll give you an update of the rolling week-by-week inventories of crude oil and gasoline inventories. Now, get this. We had the storm in Louisiana that affected some refineries and oil production. We have OPEC telling Biden to pound sand. We're not going to produce any more. And, of course, the policies in place from Biden have basically reversed what Trump tried to accomplish with energy independence within the United States. So we're relying on foreign oil again. Go figure. I mean, that's just wars waiting to happen, in my opinion. Anyway, back to the data. Crude oil inventories week over week. That's light sweet crude barrels of oil. Actually, 7.2 million barrel deficit week over week. However, gasoline inventories were actually up. There was a surplus of 1.3 million barrels. Less people are traveling around. COVID's affecting lifestyles, stuff like that. Demand is kind of sporadic depending on where you live in the country. Again, it goes back to my theory of the segregation of society. So there's some economic data for you. One other thing I would like to mention regarding the ISM Manufacturing Index. It's another good indicator. If you go to econoday.com, they will list the daily reporting of all the different data. The ISM Manufacturing Index, that tracks production. It actually is a composite index for the Institute of Supply Management, and that was actually a range of 56.8 to 60.1, and it actually came in at 59.9, so that was pretty strong. That was the only positive data that came out today.
So I feel like I've lost my mind, but I just found it, and that is, let's go to my page real quickly here. Carter Braxton Worth. Can we go on page? Okay, so let's read this real quickly together. For the month, now this is a day before we went to 11 highs here. For the month of August, we made 10 new intraday all-time highs on the S&P. It hasn't happened in the month of August since 1987. The record number of intraday all-time highs in the month of August is 11, which happened in 1929. So I just want to do that one more time. We had 11 record days in August, which was the same that happened before in 1929. We all know what happened there. We had 10 days before on this tweet, which the next day we had 11. So that happened in 1987. So both times, right? I'm a student of history. Those who don't, remember the past, Santayana, are condemned to repeat it. And so I am very, very, very nervous. Now, does that mean we're going to go down? This is the same thing that other people just did, right? Well, there's no reason for us to go down.
It's music, yeah.
Yeah, but there's not a reason to go down until there's a reason. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty nervous about it. Jason,
Black Swan.
What would that look like, right? What would that Black Swan event
Black
look like?
Swan.
What would it look like?
It could look like something that could be a domestic terrorist event on U.S. soil. Mm-hmm. Currently, there's all indications that could possibly happen. And the reason being is our foreign policy, what just happened recently where they're bringing people. There was a guy that was arrested, deported, and he was a rapist, and he found his way onto one of our C-17 aircrafts in Afghanistan and came back into America. So,
really?
So we had a lot of Afghani refugees that came over here while we had Americans on Afghani soil yet to be rescued, including the service dogs, the bomb-sniffing dogs. But I won't get into that. But yeah, there could be...
Let me ask you a question. Is that true? Did they?
Yes.
Do you really believe that they left those dogs behind?
They did.
They didn't bring the dogs?
No. All you got to do is just do a little bit of research. It's there. Even Crenshaw mentioned it.
Really?
Yeah.
Jason obviously has an opinion on this stuff. It's upsetting. I'm upset too. I saw the guy being airlifted on a Black Hawk and hung.
Our Black Hawk, theoretically utilized by the Taliban. We don't know if it was the Taliban flying the Black Hawk. And then what appeared to be a person hanging from the Black Hawk. Could it have been a dummy? Could it have been a doll? Whatever. Yeah, it could have been. Mm-hmm. I can't prove 100% that was someone that they hung on while riding in our Black Hawk. It's definitely our Black Hawk. We don't know if the Taliban was flying it. I can't prove that either.
Right.
But the visual was horrible.
So we got jobs numbers on Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Mike Jones said the Black Hawk picture was debunked? Mike Jones, let me see your source on that. I'd be interested to see that. Thank you.
That wasn't a real Black Hawk?
He's saying that it was debunked. I'd like to just see that. That's good. Good information if he has it. Hey, so
if true, that'd be great.
A Black Swan event could be anything. Housing crash. Could be terrorist event. I mean, inflation in itself could be an overwhelming, ongoing Black Swan. Peloton seems to think that, it's a good idea to, Palantir seems to think it's a good idea to hedge a little bit. Would they buy like $50 million in gold?
Yeah,
like physical gold, right?
Physical gold, right, for sure.
Hey, I'm not hating on that.
PETA is mad they left the dogs. Mike Jones says they debunked that as well. I would like to know that.
Mike Jones.
Yes, it's true. Hold on.
Mike Jones. I would love to see that, buddy. Bring me something besides salon.com.
So Drunk Tehran says it's not debunked.
Yeah. Now, the next thing you're going to tell me, King, is all of our infrastructure Auto machine guns, helicopters, Humvees, Ford trucks. No, none of that stuff was left there either, right? That's
No, that was left there. But
Yeah.
but I do need to say one thing for a guy who spent a little time around the military complex, and obviously we do own a defense contractor. They will very quickly become deteriorated. You cannot just you won't be able to operate a lot of that stuff. The light arms, the heavy arm stuff, you probably can.
Sure.
I saw that they had some guns, some mortar guns, and some long range guns. I don't know about the Humvees because I don't know how they're treated in terms of how they keep them with fluids. But, a lot of the military uses that grease that comes as a heavy grease that they put on them. That's not it's not the traditional bearings you think of. But the aircraft, the military aircraft, a lot of that stuff, I don't know that they'll be able to operate that stuff.
But I mean, on what? Why? If you
Although if they relied on some terrorist group that knew them, like the Iranians they had 80 or 90 F-14s when they had when the Shah of Iran was overthrown, and they actually had F-14s that belonged to that were sold to the Iranian military that they effectively couldn't use because eventually they didn't have the support from Grumman. They didn't have the support to support the planes, etc.
Why don't they just blow the stuff up?
Why is
Chase said that it's been debunked too. So I mean, if Chase says it's debunked, that adds some credibility.
Chase Ault?
Yeah. What's not debunked though is there's still Americans in Afghanistan. What's not debunked is they did leave a lot of our infrastructure stuff over there.
Well, that would be good to hear that that person wasn't hanging.
And what's not debunked is the policy where they moved all of our military out before they actually got our citizens out.
Omar is saying thumbs down on Naked. Something wrong with Naked Brands?
What's wrong with Naked?
I don't see anything wrong with it. It pulled back a little bit today. I don't see any news on Naked Brands at all.
Huh. That's
the
quite
Naked
interesting.
banner will fly over L.A.
I heard about that.
What's that?
They raised. They did like a GoFundMe to like raise for a banner over LA, like an airplane.
Who did?
Like Get Naked, like the Naked Army, I think.
No way.
Yeah, they did.
Is that true?
They raised some capital. Yeah, they're gonna do it.
Any stocks you want to look at real quickly?
Sure. You can look at. I wanted to look at PETV, Pet Vivo.
All right. For full disclosure, we participated in this financing, Pet Vivo.
Yeah, Pet Vivo.
But it pulled back, after being up today.
It did, but it was a nice run.
Let's look at the. Now this was on the OTC and it just recently uplisted to the Nasdaq. You can see that it's uplisting. They priced the deal at $450 with a warrant.
Right.
So for full disclosure, we bought 200,000, about 900,000 worth. So we got 200,000 shares at $450, which included 200,000 warrants.
It went above 4 today.
This is confusing the heck out of me.
What do you got there?
What price do you have?
After I got 326 at the close.
Right, 326 at the close.
Okay.
And this thing was up $4.
When I texted you,
yeah,
I was
when
like,
you texted me, it was rocky. It was like 375,
Yeah.
385, and then pulled back to only being it was up 10% today. But they just recently uplisted. They raised a bunch of money.
Yep.
We got to participate in the uplisting at $4.50 plus a warrant. Now the warrant traded up too, right?
Oh, it did.
So the warrant was trading about $1.10.
Oh, that's nice.
So when you looked at it at $4, it was really a $5.10 price. So we actually were up a little bit of it. So for full disclosure, when it got to $4, I did sell 10,000 shares and 10,000 warrants.
Nice.
Because I'm pairing them, right?
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't. A lot of times they tell you sell the shares first, keep the warrants. But for me, it was a net number, and I wanted the net out. So I took a little bit off the table because we've been in it for a little while. We've been in it for like a week or two, maybe 3 weeks or so.
Yep.
Since it uplisted. Any other stocks you want to look at?
Yeah, if you guys have been watching Risk On for the months that we've been doing our show, I've been bullish on swing trading, ticker symbol AUMN.
I didn't
Minerals.
even need you to tell me. I already pulled it up. I didn't need you to tell me that.
So I got the 5-day chart. This thing
is pulled back from May. So along with AG, all the sort of metal stocks,
all the metal
right?
stocks.
They pulled back.
Junior miners.
Pretty hard,
Yep,
right?
big time.
Right.
And, a lot of times they will they'll pair with actual spot silver, spot gold price.
Right.
Been a lot of pressure on that because of the U.S. dollar and its appearance to be strong based on the underlying Federal Reserve monetary policy and not the actual fundamentals. Once again, the U.S. dollar is backed by bullets. Don't let anybody else tell you differently. It's not backed by gold. Nixon's long gone. It's backed by our U.S. military. So keep in mind that the Fed has their policy to keep the U.S. dollar strong, trading with the petrodollar. And I don't think currently that China or Russia or any other country is in position to usurp the dollar to bypass the dollar and start trading gold for the dollar, or maybe even maybe Bitcoin for gold, or gold for gold for oil, or Bitcoin for oil. Not yet, anyway. So the U.S. dollar is the best of the worst, I guess.
That's good of the king. That's a funny joke. Hey, one thing that was troubling to me was I was listening to this whole Chinese. The Chinese are instituting policies against effectively wealthy people. But one of the other policies they're instituting is that kids are not going to be allowed to play games during the week, video games.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, social credit scores in China.
Right. And on the weekends, they're going to be limited to an hour per day.
Do you know in Australia you're limited to an hour of exercise per day? And you're not allowed to leave your home past a certain area?
Yeah, but that's regarding COVID, right?
It is.
Right. But I mean, specifically to the Chinese, the people that don't like it here in America, the people that think that people do it better other places, they're making the kids not be able to log on and play video games during the week. Now, it may sound trivial, but they effectively are re-educating our kids to make sure that in China, you don't play video games during the week because you have homework, you have school.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, you're limited to an hour a day.
They're also limiting the certain kind of music you can listen to. Like if you have a Spotify, they're basically censoring that too. So, I mean, we've got certain policies in this country. Don't let it fool you. There's certain areas that are going kind of overboard, in my opinion. You know, you can always say, America's still the best country, the greatest country, the most free country. But
is it not?
But if you take a bigger picture, look at the charts, you'll see that the chart's trending down. It's very bearish.
Well,
in
for
America.
Sure. All this stuff ebbs and flows. It's not always perfect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, education-wise or stuff like that. So I saw in Texas that there's a new law that bans abortion past 6 weeks when there's a detectable heartbeat.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court did not take any action.
I mean, the people that Trump appointed have been somewhat disappointing. Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and then our...
I know, but they didn't take any action. So in Texas right now, if you are pregnant more than 6 weeks and there's a detectable heartbeat, you can't get an abortion. It's a big deal. It took effect. I mean, the Supreme Court didn't even... The federal court, the Supreme Court didn't even take any shot at it.
Yeah.
You got no opinion there?
Not really. I can be on. I mean, is it possible to be mostly pro-life? I don't know.
Mostly pro-life?
Yeah.
I do think there's a limit, though. Like, at a certain point.
Late term.
Yeah, like...
8th month.
Right.
Ninth month.
But mostly pro-life.
Well, what I mean is, like, if somebody... What about incest?
No, okay. I'm not going to get into the abortion debate. That's a different conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying that we're now cutting it off at the 6 week cutoff. But you know that a baby, if it's born at 6 weeks in a day, can't live.
Oh, if it's born, yeah.
Right. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
That was a resounding dud.
Well, I don't know.
Hey, no one liked that.
Polarizing. Social credit scores, though, they're coming to America.
What does social credit scores mean?
They assign you a value based on what you're doing in society. Social credit scores are in China. They're coming to America. You're going to see this. It might be more of a soft social credit score, but for example, in New York City, this guy de Blasio, if you don't get your vaccine, you can't go out to dinner. That's kind of a soft social credit score. Society deems that the moral high ground goes to the vaccinated, that they are superior, that they're actually invincible, when in fact studies show, including in Israel right now, which has one of the highest vaccinated percentages per capita, that the new Delta variant and the traditional COVID are being transmitted and are being obtained by the vaccinated population in Israel at a very high rate. And if you look at the CDC website, VAERS, VAERS, you're going to see a lot of the reporting stuff that the media doesn't want you to see about when you get vaccinated. You'll have things like tumors that come on your chest. You'll have heart conditions, myocarditis, I think it is. You'll have this one girl just recently had tumors in her mouth. All these different things that happen from getting vaccinated that they're trying to not show the public, and it's a bit scary. And if you have a great immune system and you're a healthy person, I'm a poker player, so I love math, I love odds. You have a very, very good chance of beating the COVID-19. And that's my personal reason why I didn't decide to get the vaccination, because it has a small sample size. And most vaccines, as you know, with Alzheimer's neuro, most vaccines take 10 to 15 years to actually roll out to the public. Now, how long have you been working on your vaccine at Alzheimer's neuro?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
It's hopefully going to be in patients in January. Yeah.
10 years, though.
December, January, yeah. Now, the first treatment, though, is September. So one in September for AL001 and one in December or January for AL002 vaccine. I wanted to skip over to SpaceX. If you could pull up the headline for me. So this is these are, I was trying to make a point about the Chinese before we leave this on the screen, please. About if you're a gaming company, no, not the whole thing. I'm happy to be bifurcated. You're a gaming company and you wake up in China, the risk on moment for you is the Chinese government decides, hey, your audience can't watch when they want to. They can't play games when they want to. To me, that's a very risky and scary proposition if you're a company. Another one, though, is SpaceX says that Amazon is trying to delay Starlink because it can't compete. Interestingly enough, SpaceX isn't pulling any punches, it says, in response to Amazon's latest stall tactics. Yesterday, SpaceX told the FCC that Amazon is purposely trying to delay proposals. Now, you see some big shots being taken by Elon Musk against Jeff Bezos, saying that he's paying for lobbyists. He's paying to basically slow things down and make things more difficult for SpaceX. Amazon recently, unfortunately, the latest continued effort to slow down the competition while negatively resolving the commission concern that Amazon's own, something orbit satellite system. Commission should be see through this quickly and put SpaceX application out for the public comment, and it should be vetted. So basically, these two billionaires are like fighting about space, and they're fighting about what's taking place. And I think this is going to get interesting because it doesn't look like to me that Elon Musk is backing down. But the question of the day, Skyla, is Elon Musk or is Jeff Bezos driving? Does he drive, or will he ever drive a Tesla?
I doubt it.
The answer is no.
No.
Doubt it.
It's not going to happen. Skyla, let's go to the joke of the day real quick.
Okay. So I entered 10 puns into a pun contest, hoping one would win. No pun intended.
Why did you not get that one?
I entered 10
puns into a pun contest, hoping one would win. No pun intended. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
10.
10.
Oh.
Out of the
10
10.
puns. No pun intended.
Okay, whatever. Whatever, dude. I don't know what I think about that. Hey, can you go grab Randy for me, please?
Yeah. Oh. Also, we have a reservation at 2:45.
Looks like I stirred up some good conversation.
Where?
In the chat today.
Where? Today? Why is it 2:45? Oh, that's a late.
Yes, Zach, you still get it. You still transmit it. All that fun stuff.
Hey, I wanted to let you guys know that the Oxycontin lawsuit, Maker of Purdue won court approval for roughly a $4.5 billion bankruptcy settlement. And this allows the Sackler family to shield themselves from billions of dollars of litigation, to keep $10 billion, and also pay that settlement over time.
Amortized.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I just...
What?
Oxycontin.
I can't figure out where you're going with this one.
Vicodin. Well, the big pharma. that just prescribes this stuff like it's candy. I mean, why can't we work on like other stuff, like natural remedies? They discourage that. You know, simple stuff that can be cure stuff like apple cider vinegar, garlic, like natural remedies. They just rather just smash you with.
What can apple cider vinegar cure?
It's got a lot of things. It's good for rashes. It's good for
Don't you always wonder when one thing can do like so many different things?
I mean, it's a suit. Yeah.
Like a pseudo, like you can pour it all over the place and it's all good.
But also like now, also like lifestyle, nutrition, exercise. Like we don't see the CDC emphasizing that stuff.
But the Sackler family,
yeah,
they didn't make us take the Oxycontin.
No, but the doctors did.
Well, the doctors prescribed it for pain.
Yeah.
Right. And then when they prescribed it for pain, the drug dealers cut it up and snorted it and sold it.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's crazy.
Blame the family.
No, it was over. No.
I mean, the family should pay $4.5 billion for that.
I don't know what the family should pay. I don't know. I don't know all the victims. I don't know the entire story. It's tough.
We are a victim culture.
Yeah.
You know.
But the doctors.
I have people who. I had the funniest thing. I was watching I saw StockTwits this morning, and it said, the owner of Alzamend is hated by Wall Street.
The owner.
The main owner of Alzamend is hated by Wall Street, and I wrote back and said, Wall Street? Are you sure you mean Wall Street, or do you mean short-term traders hate me? Because I got to be honest with you, I think Wall Street people like me.
Yes.
I know them all. Not all of them, not everyone on Wall Street, but they did, in fact, help me raise hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 10 years. I mean, that kind of doesn't make any sense. Wall Street, I don't think, hates me. Maybe there's some traders and some investors that don't like my policies.
Right.
But the great thing is, in America, it's still legal for you to sell and go away or never buy the stock if you don't like me. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter.
Wall Street likes you. You were severe. You were highly scrutinized, vetted from the NASDAQ. They said, "Hey, Alzheimer's Neuro,
You can list on the exchange."
Yes.
Hey, Randy, what's up, buddy?
I hate that.
Hey,
Dude,
Randy.
I got some advice for you. So,
Did you appreciate Jason and I arguing earlier?
What arguing?
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's just a constructive conversation.
Constructive conversation.
Yeah.
I call that the volcano effect.
Yeah. Dude, instead of these people who don't like you, can't worry about these people that don't like you. You got to be like me. I don't have any feelings, so you can't hurt my feelings.
Now, Randy,
You know?
I understand that you may have seen Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Did you, in fact, attend the Guns N' Roses concert? Did you attend?
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome.
Was it awesome?
Yeah, I was right in the front, man. I was like,
I saw you. You were way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, I sent you some pictures, right?
I got the pictures eventually, like after the show, because I think they were sent. And
No,
they were in
yeah.
like stratosphere.
I
right?
kept sending messages out to people, and it kept coming back saying failed. So I don't know if it's inside that stadium. You can't
I think when you put 60,000 people in one place with like one or two cell sites, it kind of gets overrun.
Yeah. It's never happened before, but I apologize for you not getting them live.
No, that's cool. But so
I wanted you to get them live.
Was Axel any good?
Yeah, oh yeah, they're all good.
Really?
Yeah, my only complaint was some of the songs, they dragged them out. You know, instead of just playing the song that's 5 minutes, they drag out and extend it, make it like 10 minutes long.
Well, they make that whole, like, they play the rock, like a rock solo, and they drag it out. And and they
like,
lengthen the song.
Yeah, or Axel, like on Knocking on Heaven's Door, which is a song I don't even like. He just kept saying, knocking on Heaven's Door 100 times and putting the microphone out to the crowd so they'd sing it. And it's like, dude, I don't need that. It's like,
he's like, knocking on heaven's door. And he, like that.
Yeah.
And it's the same
Over and
lyrics
over
and over again.
yeah, just play the damn song.
They somehow think that's fun.
Yeah, but overall.
But maybe some of the crowd likes to sing along with it.
Yeah, I think some do, but.
Now, if I'm 51, Axel's what, 71?
Oh, I'm not sure how old they are.
Were they in wheelchairs when they were singing?
No.
It wasn't like a Rolling Stones experience where they needed IVs to play, right?
No.
No, they're still young, right?
Yeah, it was solid. It was good. The sound was good. They played a lot of good songs I like, but like I said, my only complaint was just don't drag out these songs to be 10 minutes when they're just a 5 minute. Play them just like they are on the record, you know.
And what did you think of the new Allegiant Stadium?
I didn't see too much of it, you know, because I hung out outside a little bit before the concert, and when I got in, as soon as I got in, they started playing, so there wasn't a lot of time to go look around at the stadium or anything, so I really can't tell you, like, all the amenities and all that stuff. I just went right up to the front and got in my position. And
Is
then,
Axel heavier now or not heavier?
No, he looks like he's lost some weight for sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
He's 59 right now.
It's funny. Everybody always talks about him, right? My friends were even texting me going, "Hey, how was Axel?" You know, everybody's always asking how was
because
Axel?
he hid for a while.
Yeah.
What do you have? Substance abuse problems?
I don't know.
I don't know. They're just kind of one of the lazier bands. I mean, they've been out for how many years, and they've only got a few records out after, they've been out since 1988, and I don't even know if they've got 6 or 7 records, even if that. You know, so I don't know what it is. Just a lot of hibernation, dude.
Did you get to see Wolfgang at all?
No. I wasn't concerned about seeing him. I had seen some highlights earlier on YouTube of the East Coast shows and saw some of his songs. It's kind of plain Jane. Not really from. It's kind of like who was these bands you guys were talking about? Not like Nickelback, but who's that guy?
Did they do Welcome to the Jungle and all the traditional stuff?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They kind of have no choice.
Well, they started
right?
off with a song called Slither, which is a song by Velvet Revolver, which they didn't even do. But Slash was in that band called Velvet Revolver with the guy who's deceased now,
Yeah.
Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots.
I know Scott.
So that was pretty cool.
Scott and I played football together. Scott from
Oh, really?
Yeah, we played football together and we went to school together.
No way.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that? He went to Edison High School. He used to play in the bowl. He used to play like in the whatever
Yeah.
you call it, right? Played football at Edison.
Wow.
I actually saw him at a Browns game. He's I don't know why Scott was a big Browns supporter. I have no idea why. But when I saw him at the Browns game, he kind of had like the stuff underneath his nails, and his friend told me that's where he was shooting up underneath his. I don't know how you stick him.
Oh
my
I don't know how you
God.
shoot up underneath there. If that's really true.
Come
I
on.
don't know. But he looked just really skinny and tired and stuff like that.
When you went to visit,
But Alex, but Scott was a nice guy. He was friends with a lot of other people I knew. I wasn't close to him or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I knew a lot of people he knew. And Scott's manager, I knew. He started a company called what's it called? Vetcoin, like a cryptocurrency for people to sell their music and do that kind of thing. Scott Weiland, yeah, that was when he left Stone Temple Pilots because they were mad at him or something like that, right? Whatever. Where were we? I digress, Jason.
when you were in Seattle recently,
Right.
did you see a lot of that stuff?
Dude, I was in Seattle. What a beautiful city. But in downtown Seattle, I actually saw a person literally shooting up on the side of the road, like sitting like in downtown Seattle, shooting up right there and doing drugs. They were all over the place. It was like a cesspool of open drug use. It was like they were encouraging it right in a little square. We went to a pizza place down there, and they were doing drugs right. I mean, my wife said to me, I cannot believe I just saw a guy actually shooting up in the middle of the day. It was nasty. I mean, nasty.
Oh God.
Well, it seems kind of, you're saying it's kind of beautiful there, but I know there's beautiful parts, but it's kind of depressing, right? It rains most of the time. It's overcast most of the time. And I think that's why you get a lot of those
that's
problems.
the case for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the case.
Yeah.
So, Randy, what else is going on?
Well, I got some Formula One news. I don't know if you saw the debacle this weekend, but they were supposed to race at Spa, one of the best 2 or 3 tracks they race on all year. Everybody looks forward to it. The fans, the viewers. And after 2 laps, they called it a race because it was too dangerous to race. They said
Terrible.
it was raining
Right.
too hard. And I think it's because you saw the crash I showed you on Friday, right, with those women in the W Series that crashed.
Nasty.
Then there was a
Yeah.
crash on Saturday in qualifying in Formula One. Lando Norris crashed his McLaren. And so I think they thought that if we race on Sunday, there's going to be another accident. Somebody could get killed. And they decided after 2 laps, they just went behind the pace car. And then they said, that's it. They waved the checkered flag because there's a rule where when the time the race is supposed to start, for example, if it starts at 1 p.m., it has to be over by 4 no matter what. So if you don't start till 2 or 3 and you start late, oh, well, now you only got an hour to race. So it's not a very good rule. You kind of screwed the fans a lot there. And then everybody that watches on TV, they look forward to this track. This is one of the hugest tracks on the calendar. So I heard that the FIA is trying to figure out about reimbursing these fans or doing something. They sat in the rain all day and got nothing, man. So
That's terrible.
What a drag.
I would have been so pissed.
I've
Hey,
never
can-
seen that either. I've never seen that happen in
Can
Formula
we
One. They
go to
always
my-
race.
Can we go to my screen real quick and make sure we play the audio? Hold on.
This time, this place, misused, mistakes.
Oh, no.
What?
Come on, man. Get your music straight.
Oh, I was just feeling sad for all those Formula One fans.
Get your music straight.
I get your music right. Hey, those of you who don't know, this is the last format of this show. Starting this Friday, we will have a 2-hour show. It'll be every Friday. Jason and I will be showing you charts of the things we're trading. We'll be taking viewer questions for at least an hour every Friday. Randy's going to have a spot about what's happening in Vegas and stuff happening in the racing circuit. Chase will be here. Skyla will be here. Josh will be on the show. And every single Friday, we're going to have a guest host. So it'll be fun. I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday. Randy, what are you doing for the rest of the week?
Work.
That's exciting. How about you, Jason?
I will be, let's see. Well, I'm trying to do some logistics stuff.
What does that mean?
You know.
You're moving your apartment?
No. For the company.
Oh, that's important stuff. Yeah, that's great stuff.
That's like
very
my
important.
main focus.
Right, for sure.
So that's what I'll be working on.
Well, okay, you got some logistics stuff. I know what that is.
Yeah.
Hey, that'll be some exciting stuff here. I want to cover a couple things moving here. Let's see here. ChargePoint Holdings, it's up.
Yeah, it's up.
Let's see what happens with them. What's going on with them? Guidance is higher.
What did they only lose?
Chewy retail took a 10% hit after reporting quarterly earnings. 5 below. All right, nothing really extraordinary going on for me. I don't know. Can we go to the audience real quick? Are there anything in the chat, Josh? Can you bring it up on the screen for me to see? I'm curious as to what's going on out there, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day, and we'll see you Friday in a really kind of a new format. So I'm excited about it. We're working hard to make the show a little bit more interactive when it comes to what's taking place now. Obviously, the Theranos girl, Elizabeth Holmes, is going on trial now. Mm-hmm. The question is do you promote too much relative to what you hope is going to happen versus reality? You know, there's a lot of those people, like there was a time and place where people said Elon Musk was saying things that could happen that weren't going to happen. They ultimately came true. Mm-hmm. But there's a fine line between hope and the reality. And this is a really big trial because Elizabeth Holmes was very promotional about what was happening at Theranos and the capabilities of what she was doing. Jason, do you call that faking it till you make it?
Fake it till you make it? Yeah, then you could say that for sure.
For sure. Is Josh not on right now?
No, but I have some things on here.
Got some questions?
Oh, what happened to Josh?
He's hadn't been on the whole show.
Oh. Did you see the...
But I see Josh's face right there.
It's just a placeholder because he's coming. There he is.
What?
Oh, Josh, are you in Newport today? Oh, God. Does that mean people are watching the show? Holy shit.
Did
sorry.
Tanner cut his hair?
That's terrible. Oh, I'm so sorry. Today's a dead day. I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, Josh, can you go audio with us or not? I guess not. Hey, that's okay, Josh. I'm so sorry. I forgot you had stuff going on down.
I'm here.
Hey, Josh.
Josh, any thoughts on Friday? Anything that we should be putting up in the text? By the way, our text is 949-799-1831. 949-799-1831. Josh, I just want to check in with you to see if there's any codes in there that they have to put up for the follow Skyla trading scenario. Is there something where they're supposed to be putting in the text to be able to get that?
Yep, we've got the Discord link in the chat here. So be sure to sign up for our Discord, and then our community, if you 949-799-1831, 949-799-1831, alert is the notification.
Look, all those people just joined. Like they're in the show.
Oh, wow. So this has worked out well. The first day, Josh, that Jason put up something in Discord, I think he made like 33%. Now, for all purposes, this is not a recommendation. This is just what we're doing. You can follow along with what Jason is doing. Jason is a trader. Jason follows a lot of short-term stuff that he brings up. Jason, why don't you cover real quickly before we hang up with Josh? We're gonna go a little bit longer. Why don't you cover real quickly how this is going to work? Because I want people to be able to follow this. People were not able to really follow Jason's betting for baseball. Jason has an analytical mind. He does great in baseball. You took, Jason, what'd you take? Like $1,200 to $7,000?
Yeah, we tried to do the Grant Cardone 10X. We got 6X.
Right. But he took $1,200 to $7,000. We just want to demonstrate to you some of the picks Jason has, the ability to use things like Webull, how you can benefit from it.
Yeah.
And when we start the show on Friday, we're going to talk to you about all the trades, the setup. We're going to cover some setups, what Jason uses to scan and find stocks, etc. I think this is going to be exciting.
We look
because you literally get a lot of names, right?
We get some dumpster diving,
right?
We look at stuff on reversals on daily candles, RSI, stuff like that. I'll show you guys about what to look for. Yeah,
undervalued assets.
Hey, listen, Josh, I appreciate you putting that link out. It looks like we had a lot of people join in the last couple of days.
Hey, check out the Discord, 949-799-1831. Thanks to Josh for being here. And I know, Josh, you're at an important meeting in Newport Beach. Good luck with that. Say hello to our friend Willie, the new CEO of Ault Media Group. Say hello to Douglas. It looked like Douglas was in there. I couldn't see who else was in the group, but maybe Tanner. I think he's got a shaved head now. Say hello to the group. Maybe Cliff. If Cliff there? Excellent. Hey, that's great. Hey, thanks everyone for joining us. I know it's a little bit of a dull September 1st, but what I would say to you is think about this. It didn't start off dull for Jason and I, but think about this. So this is really the long weekend. We come back on Tuesday, which is the 7th of September. We're ready to rock and roll. The next couple days, we're going to take tomorrow off. We'll be back with the show 2 hours on Friday, setting up for September 7th. We look forward to seeing you. We're going to start the show very early on Friday. It'll be during market hours, right at the close at 12:45. We'll go for 2 hours. What does 2 hours take us to? 2:45 or?
Yeah.
Give or take? Yeah. We'll. Yeah. I actually I apologize. That means we'll start the show at 12:30. 1 hour. So we'll be on the air during market hours, kind of talking about what we're doing. A little bit of a different format. We hope you like it. We're working out the kinks as we speak. Randy will be here, everyone. We'll talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Randy, thank you, buddy, for being here.
Sure.
All right, everybody. You guys take care. Enjoy. It's the 1st of September, 2021. Be well. Good luck trading out there. Follow Jason on Discord on Risk On. Get to the link 949-799-1831 for our text, and you can follow what Jason's doing, Skyla's doing, and hopefully we can make some money. Take care.